young scholars? This the Dad Cypher.
What up, young scholars? This your boy, the extra large professor, and today on Dad Cypher, a hip-hop guide to fatherhood, I'm hitting you with yet another installment of trauma. So, on the F Your Fort episode, I talked to you guys about the childhood trauma that I endured at the hands of a toxic family member. On episode 2, the Confessions of a Formerly Abusive Father, I talk about how that transgenerational trauma impacted me as a dad and how it led to some abusive behavior that I had towards my children. Now, step 3, I got to hit you guys with some of the films that I listened to that encouraged me to get help and also helped me to endure my trauma and helped me to realize that I was committing that same sort of trauma to my children. So sit back, relax. We're going to go through the Extra Large Professor group of films that helped me to overcome trauma. Bam. Okay, so one of the first TV series that really encouraged me to go out and get therapy was HBO series called In Treatment. In Treatment was really the first series where I saw a black man get therapy. Because previously, before, I thought therapy was only for white folks. It was in the community in which I came to, the only way we dealt with trauma is through the church. And I thought, like a therapist, you just lay on the couch and you share your problems and that sort of thing. And I wasn't into the hypnotism or the brainwashing and that sort of thing that I thought it was. But actually, In Treatment showed me that it's really a conversation, and therapists really help you to unearth a lot of the things that we have been holding within. And unlike the church and unlike the family, it's from someone who doesn't really know you, but that's interested in helping you become better. So as I was going through my divorce and as I was going through dealing with the trauma, my therapist just helped me to realize the abuse that I suffered, and also she helped me to face a lot of those tough issues. So In Treatment was definitely that did a great service for me. It helped me to realize that I needed help.
Lord have mercy. Where's the child? Oh, nigga.
Nigga. Now, the second film that really stuck out to me was Antoine Fisher. That once again, it's another film starring Denzel and Derek Luke, where once again I see another man of color, and he's getting therapy. But this time, it really dealt with the trauma of him being sexual assault, as well as physical and emotional abuse. And like the character Antoine Fisher, well, like the real life man Antoine Fisher, I had a lot of aggression. I am what you call a bottler. In other words, what I do is instead of letting someone and articulating how I feel, I tend to hold all the aggression that I have inside until it explodes. And that's what the character Antoine Fisher was going through. It led to him having poor self-esteem. It led to him getting into aggressive behaviors, fighting, that sort of thing. A lot of the damage that I inflicted on my children, I think, was a result of untreated trauma. And so watching Antoine Fisher helped me to realize as a dad and as just an individual that I really needed to go to therapy to deal with a lot of the aggression, a lot of the trauma that I had. And it really helped me to understand that the trauma that I endured was not my fault. And it also helped me to recognize that I needed to change my behaviors before my children become the next Antoine Fisher. One part that really sticks out when he was like, "I'm still standing."
What you tried to do, you couldn't destroy me. I'm still standing. I'm still strong.
I'm still standing. And you know what it helped me to learn is my trauma was something that didn't happen to me. Maybe it happened for me to learn that I can survive and come through it. You know, I certainly don't recommend anyone to suffer that. But I don't see myself as a victim. I see myself as a survivor, that I'm still standing. And that helped me out. The next movie that really helped me out a lot was Fruitvale Station, the story of Oscar Grant, starring Michael B. Jordan. There's a particular scene in that film where Oscar is begging for his job back. And then all of a sudden, you see the anger builds up as a result of his boss telling him that he has given his job to someone else.
Somebody else. For me to bring you back, that means I have to let someone else go. Someone who's never showed up late once. I'm sorry. I like you, man, but I can't
need this fucking job, bruh. You want me selling dope, bruh?
Oscar.
You need me outside waiting for you to get done, bruh?
And the reason why this sticks out to me, it lets me know that the bottled up aggression that I have is dangerous and it could spill out at every moment. And if you are a father that have endured a lot of trauma and you have faced a lot of anger, whether it be from incarceration or a toxic family member or abuse or anything, you really have to watch those signs to recognize the changes in your body. Now, before I get angry, I realize where that anger is coming from, and I do other tactics like walking or meditation or prayer and that sort of thing. And these are some things that I use on a daily basis, listening to positive speakers. I have to make sure that I renew my mind every day so that I will not have that build up anger that Oscar had in the film. Now, the last film that really stuck out to me was Imperial Dreams, starring John Boyega. I hope I pronounced that right, but the brother that played Finn from Star Wars. Imperial Dream is an incarcerated father who's coming home, and he's making some changes in his life. He has found the power of writing, and he wants to use that to change who he is as a dad. In particular, what I love about this movie is about we as fathers taking control of our own narrative, our own story. And though he still had the temptations of street life, he was dealing with homelessness. He was dealing with an uncle that was trying to force him back into the drug game and all of those different types of things. But he held on to his conviction of, I have to do the right thing. I have to make the sacrifice. I have to share my story. And I don't care what type of father you are. If you're trying to make changes from an abusive relationship, from incarceration, you're going to have to take ownership of your story. You're going to maybe have to write it. You're going to maybe have to do it in poetry form. What that movie showed me is the importance of doing that, of sharing that story and using it as a form of empowerment. What I do here on Dad's Cypher is really chopping up stories and narratives because I want you guys to learn from my story, learn from my testimony. On the next episode of Dad's Cypher, I discuss the 4 hip hop songs that saved my life.